To some breaking news now in southeast Houston. Another police pursuit, a police chase going on the Gulf Freeway. Last we heard it was near the Clear Lake area.
Yeah, something in the air here. We followed one for you yesterday, a white Suburban, this time a burgundy SUV that police are in pursuit of right now. We have Andy Bass and Sky Eye HD. Andy, can you kind of give us our bearings? Where are we at this point, in what part of the city?
We are on the northbound side of the Gulf Freeway, just passing underneath the belt. That was the overpass that you see right there. So we are on the northbound side of the Gulf Freeway, approaching Fuquay Street right there and coming up to Alameda Genoa. This red Blazer just took off. Basically, oh, there it goes.
Person fell out. My goodness.
Fall out, yes, ma'am.
Oh.
But he's continuing on at this point, despite that passenger that just was ejected from the passenger side. That person was not moving
that
either.
Did not look good at all. We will certainly effort to get an update on the person and their condition. But oh my goodness, it's as though the person just said, "I didn't want to be a part of this," and I'm bailing when the
dude, he's still going.
And he's still going.
He's still going.
The door shut, and it looked like it.
Well, you're yelling about something. You're yelling about the car. Okay, I think the pilot and our photographer are trying to figure out what to follow, if they should follow the victim there that fell out or jumped out of the car, or to follow the vehicle. But now we're back on the vehicle on the Gulf Freeway there. Yeah,
and again, folks, we're not sure what prompted this chase here. We have people in our newsroom working on that at this point. But again, it started in the Clear Lake area, the NASA Road 1 area, and has now made its way coming back into town here, the northbound lanes of 45. Now, at one point, at the very start of the chase, we saw that SUV try to exit, but it swerved back onto the freeway. That's when you saw that person, that SUV, hit a guardrail, and someone was ejected, it appeared anyway, from that passenger side door. But the driver continues on with severe damage.
Yeah, but there goes the door again. There's the door. You can see that's the door the person came out of.
Clearwood.
And you can see the door is flipping, flying back and forth because it's smashed in pretty good there on the right-hand side when the driver hit that guardrail. Andy, are you back with us?
Yeah, I am back with you guys.
Okay, I know you're having a tough time by the Hobby Airport area. We can see now. Tell us what we're looking at. Just got off the freeway and then back on.
They just got off the freeway at Clearwood and then just back on it. As you can tell, as we can tell from up here, that passenger door is still flopping in the wind as he turns. That passenger door is not secure. Just passing the Airport College Avenue exit, still heading on the northbound side of the Gulf Freeway, just speeding in and out of traffic. And now it looks like he's exiting onto Airport and College, going around that Honda Accord right there.
Well, Andy, I mean, now that was pretty traumatic what we saw moments ago. From what it appeared here in the studio, it did appear that someone was ejected. Is that what you were able to tell as well from your vantage point?
From our vantage point, yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like he tried to exit on, I'm not too sure, maybe it was the belt, and lost control and then hit that guardrail, and we did see the passenger being ejected outside of the passenger door. We just did not stop and see, what kind of condition she was in. It looked like a female passenger as well, from what we can tell.
Yeah, and then back on the Gulf Freeway again. We don't know exactly what sparked this pursuit, but the traffic, just like yesterday, not as bad as it might otherwise be at this time of day because we're in holiday season. A lot of folks on vacation. That shoulder, like all shoulders, is going to come and go. So as the fleeing suspect travels on the shoulder, they will at times find themselves trapped. He's now back onto the regular roadway there on Gulf Freeway, heading eastward now.
Yeah, on this Good Friday, a lot of people off, not a lot of traffic. We can only pray for that passenger that was ejected and hope that person is okay. There was a patrol car that came up on that passenger, so we can hope that that person is getting some medical attention either now or very quickly, since officers were on the scene and stopped to help that person. But the person driving obviously could care less of what happened to their friend or possibly girlfriend or spouse because they just kept on anyway and could care less. Yeah,
and we don't know. The person in the passenger seat might have been a victim. It might have been, we don't know what the offense is. So it could have been someone they knew and liked, or could have been someone who they were trying to victimize. But we're the Broadway area now. Again, this is near Hobby Airport. The red burgundy SUV, still going at a pretty good clip. How fast are you traveling there, Andy?
Not too fast, actually. We slowed down, as you can tell, that the traffic as we get closer to the South Loop, and that's what we're approaching right now. The traffic did get a little thicker in this area, so he did slow down, took the left side of the shoulder, which he is on right now. If I could get Captain Hermann, and I just lost the picture.
Ugh, that doesn't look good, how closely he or
that's...
she is edging out other drivers. But the police officers do a really good job of staying real close to the motorist, but when it's HPD involved in a pursuit, they don't believe in firing to shoot out tires. There we go, losing control again, hitting another vehicle. Okay, that passenger door has been flopping like that since the passenger was ejected. But now some damage on the driver's side, though it didn't stop the driver from continuing on.
Well, to say that he's or she is driving erratically would be an understatement at this point.
There we go again, cornered a bit there.
We've seen this SUV already hit that guardrail, as we noted, and we've seen him sideswipe someone else on the freeway here. The SUV, I don't know whether it's maybe lost a tire, but it seems extremely unstable at this point, along with the damage it suffered to that passenger side area.
It looked to me that the right tire, one of the right tires, ever since that passenger was ejected and the door's flopping there, it looks to me like that tire looks flat in front a little bit. But there we are going through an intersection. Always a scary time when you're traveling so quickly through an intersection and other motorists aren't expecting to have some vehicle come flying through the intersection, but he or she managed to navigate it okay. Got lucky, but again, not so lucky a few seconds ago when you saw this driver hit another car. It wasn't a gentle kiss like yesterday's chase suspect, wiped off the mirror on the side. That was a hit. And now it looks like we're in a neighborhood area. Andy, tell me a little bit more about this community the vehicle's in now.
He just took a right turn right there off of what looked like the feeder road, and he's now onto a little side street. I'm trying to get Captain Hermann to give me a cross street for you on the GPS to see what exactly road he did take off on. But like he says, it's definitely residential. You can see some homes there and the surface streets. And now he just went around, just took another right on that street.
And children are out today. I mean, they're not in school right now. So he could easily come out upon people who are in their front yard playing, a game of catch.
That's what makes my stomach uneasy at this point. Is this is a neighborhood, and as you noted, Gina, a lot of people off from school today. So, it looks like he's slowed down at this point. He's not driving too fast.
Yeah, he can't. There's some tight traffic right there. It looks as though a bit of a circle, a C, maybe not a complete circle.
He's getting ready to bail right here. Looks like he's going to let the car rolling.
And let the car, he's letting the car.
And now he's going to try to make a run for it here.
Police are right behind him. Remember, we've been showing you the police vehicles. But, he's got a helicopter above him, which he certainly knows, and he is not going to be able to escape.
And it looks like he's possibly, great, an officer there hopefully was the one that tripped him up there, and they're going to quickly get some handcuffs on this guy who's already sideswiped at least one vehicle that left some pretty bad damage, and also his driving led to the ejection of somebody that was sitting in the passenger seat of his vehicle as well. So this has been a pretty tough chase to watch.
I don't think we've seen before, is a passenger just go flying out of a vehicle onto the freeway, and it really took my breath away. And we will certainly be checking to find out more about that passenger and their condition, whether or not that passenger was another suspect involved in whatever infraction led to the initiation of this chase, or whether or not that person was perhaps an intended victim of the person driving the car. But as you see, he is now in custody. We can say it is a he in custody in someone's yard.
Someone's backyard. You see the swing right there in that tree, and you can only imagine what could be going through their head if they're at home right now. But if you're watching this live, folks, you see several HPD officers around this suspect. It started in the Clear Lake area. Something prompted the high-speed chase. They came into town on 45. We saw someone get ejected at one of the exits near the Beltway, it seemed. That person, we don't know their condition at this point because they were ejected and they hit the pavement. Officers were there on the scene to take care of that person. And then at this point, Andy, where are we now?
It's so hard to tell right now. We are just a little bit inside the loop, it looks like, and I really can't tell. Maybe just a little bit west of the ship channel area.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my bearings right now.
Yeah, we understand. As they walk this suspect toward a police vehicle, again, it appears as though the only serious injury was the passenger who was ejected. We want to show you that in a second. We're going to show you the scene that we have been describing where a passenger was ejected as the driver Here we go. We're going to go with it now. This is on the Gulf Freeway, happening about 10 minutes ago.
And we do want to warn you folks, this is tough to watch. If we're picking it up at the spot where the person was ejected, we want to warn anybody at home that this is a bit distracting. And again, this is the chase coming up on 45. You'll see the SUV in a moment try to exit really quickly and then hit a guardrail.
Here we go, right there. Hits the guardrail. And we froze it there. That's where the person comes out of the vehicle. And this is the scene now live. This is the person being tended to. It looked as though it was a woman. That's unconfirmed, wearing red and white. And it looks as though the person's not moving, but we can't tell because we haven't seen this person in 10 or 12 minutes, whether or not they have handcuffs on or whether they're trying to effort to treat them for injuries. At the time, the person, when they first were ejected, they laid there still as though they could not move. But right now, there is a traffic jam at the Gulf Freeway and South Beltway 8 because they are trying to tend to this victim. And I say victim because they're injured. Again, I don't know if they were involved in the alleged crime or not, that we believe is a female. So they're still trying to work that scene.
Okay. Now, all right, folks, another live picture from Sky HD. Our crew already on scene. You see Maya Shea right there along with one of our photographers. And as the suspect here is getting handcuffed, the gentleman in the white shirt, Maya Shea is trying to get some information from him. He's not likely to talk.
He's not looking toward the camera at all. Well, you know, you never know. Yesterday, the suspect, chase suspect, talked to the camera, talked to our reporter exclusively, giving a shout out to their quote, as they said, baby mama was the quote from yesterday's chase suspect. But this suspect seems to not want to talk about it. But again, this suspect in more hot water because at least two people suffered some injuries because we have the passenger and then we have as well another motorist that this driver hit. We saw that live, and it wasn't a soft hit. It was a pretty good hit. Somebody got some damage.
And folks, stay with us here. We've got even more developments for you. You see Maya Shea live on the shot. We also have her live on the phone so we can talk to her from the scene. Maya, we know you just got there. You're standing in front of the suspect. What's going on?
Well, I'm standing right next to the suspect. You can see the suspect right now. The two Houston police officers are standing right next to him. They have him handcuffed, and they are doing a search of his pants pockets and trying to make sure he doesn't actually have any weapons on him before they place him in the vehicle. We just tried to talk to him a few moments ago. We tried to ask him what his name was, what he was doing. He did not make any comments. He turned his head away from us. We can see the Houston police officers right in front of us.
Hey, Maya, let me ask this before he gets in the car. Are you able to ask him who the person was that was ejected from the vehicle?
We tried to ask him questions. He would not answer any of our questions and simply just turned his head away from us. And as you can see, officers just placed him in the vehicle. He's a little scraped up, but otherwise seems like he's in good condition. He's wearing a white T-shirt, the undershirt, and black shorts. The officers making sure that he did not have any weapons. He is now in the police car, as you can see from Sky HD, and would not answer any of our questions, remain silent. And right now, police are trying to investigate exactly what happened. This is a residential neighborhood. All the neighbors are out. They are looking to see what's going on. We see at least a dozen law enforcement vehicles from a number of jurisdictions on site here. And obviously, the investigation will last for a while. But for now, he is in custody in the vehicle as investigators start their process into finding out exactly what happened.
Maya, have the police told you what precipitated this chase?
To be honest, no, because we just walked up. As soon as we walked up, they already had the suspect in handcuffs, so we simply followed him to the police vehicle where he was frisked and placed in the vehicle. We had not had a moment to talk to any law enforcement officers just yet. We just wanted to make sure we got the images of him and try to ask him any questions before he was actually placed in the vehicle. And the man, I can tell you for a fact, is not talking.
Well, you know, Maya, it's excellent work on the part of you and the photographer you were to get there on the scene while we're live on the air before the suspect even got put into the vehicle. Excellent work, and we can see you. We've been watching you for some time at work there, trying to get him to talk and watched him as he turned his head away from you. So excellent day at the office for you, Maya Shea.
All right, thanks.
A passenger ejected and a suspect arrested in another wild police chase across the metro area. Good evening, I'm Gina Gaston.
And I'm Eric Barajas in for Dave Ward. So for the second time in 2 days, a police pursuit made for some dangerous and disturbing moments on Houston highways.
We first brought you this story. It's breaking news at 4, and now we are learning more about what may have led to this chase.
Yeah, we have team coverage tonight, but we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Maya Shea with this breaking news update. Maya?
Well, this chase spanned the length of 45 all the way down from NASA Parkway up to where we are, which is just inside of the 610 loop. This all began, according to investigators, from what was suspected was people trying to break into cars in a Walmart parking lot. Now, this ended in a neighborhood not too far from where I'm standing. We were the only ones on scene, so we want to show you what that looked like. It was a suspect. Wouldn't say anything to us after we repeatedly asked him what was going on before he was handcuffed, frisked, and placed in the back of a police car. That was the end of a wild chase that began around NASA Road 1 earlier this afternoon around 3:45. Investigators say once security alerted police and others to this possible suspect trying to break into cars, he then fled, eventually giving way to a chase. A passenger, also classified as a suspect, somehow either jumped or fell out of the vehicle around the Beltway 8 area, but the chase continued before ending up in a neighborhood. Police detectives on the scene tell us what they believe took place.
Basically, we had a BMV suspect at Walmart on El Dorado at 45, and the report called in that somebody was trying to break into their vehicle. When the officer arrived on the scene, the officer got the description of the vehicle, picked up the vehicle at 45 South and Bay area.
As you saw live on Sky Eye HD for much of the afternoon, the chase did not go without victims. It hit at least one vehicle, and that woman who was driving that vehicle, fortunately, is all right. We spoke to her, and you'll hear from her first-person account coming up on Eyewitness News at 6:30. For now, it's important to realize we have one suspect in the hospital, another transported to the police department, and still a lot of details to be sorted out. Live along the Gulf Freeway, Maya Shea, 13. Eyewitness News. And Deborah Wrigley, my colleague, is live in the medical center with more on this chase. Deborah?
The one most dramatic moment from this came from that ejection, and the person who was thrown from the fleeing SUV is now here at Memorial Hermann Southeast, not far from where he or she was flung onto the freeway. Now, the images we are about to show you, they are blurred, but they may still be disturbing, so use your own judgment. It happened at just about 10 minutes past 4. That's 10 minutes after the chase began on 45 North, just at the Beltway here on the south side of town. The fleeing SUV hit a guardrail. The passenger side slammed into the railing. It damaged the door. The door flew open. The passenger flew out, laying on the concrete as the driver sped off. A pursuing police car narrowly missed running over the person in the roadway, but the officer pulled away just in time. Ambulances were called for that person. He or she, we're not sure of the gender yet, was transported here to Memorial Hermann Southeast. He is now in the emergency room, but we do not have a condition. We do not have the name either, whether he was simply a passenger or, as Maya pointed out, he may have been an accomplice in all this. That's still to be determined, but we are told that there are police in the emergency room with that person now. He is being looked over. The extent of his injuries not known, but considering what happened, that person should be glad to be alive. In Southeast Houston, Deborah Wrigley, 13 Eyewitness News.